I thought I would give a little intro to Rune slash Title for the vinyl community. Now, I know most of you aren't interested in having another program to play music or interested in streaming through Title, but some of you might. And I got Rune earlier this year and then Title more recently, and I've found it to be a fantastic way to find out about new music. I'll do another video about that, but to learn about the music that you already know about or are familiar enough that you want to learn more and know about it. So here's a little quick video, and I'm a big fan of Joe Bonamassa. I know a lot about him. I have a lot of his records. And so I was looking at this particular record, and one of the things that the guy, the reviewer, and they write reviews, as you can see here, and they rate them with a number of stars and so forth. Of course, this is somebody's opinion. He gave this a 3.5 stars, and he liked it, but you can tell he's not the biggest fan of Joe Bonamassa, and he talked several times in the review about Gary Moore and how Gary Moore is kind of better in every way in his opinion. Well, the name Gary Moore was vaguely familiar to me, but like a lot of these things, I didn't know much about it. So you see the mouse here. I'm using a Macintosh, and you got hot links here. I click on Gary Moore. Boom, there's Gary Moore. Yeah, you can find stuff out on YouTube and so forth, but here we scroll through here. Here is a long kind of quick biography of Gary Moore, telling about his full career and his activity with Thin Lizzy and so forth. And this was very interesting. So we close that down shorter. Well, we go down here. Says here, just this what's on Title, not what he did. Main albums. There are 42 albums you can listen to here in the Title system. They generally start with the oldest and go forward, and one of the things that you'll notice, they have a rating down here of how good they were. Here, this Victim of the Future was rated almost 5 stars. Again, this is somebody's opinion, but where a person like me that doesn't know anything, it lets me jump in and find out information and find it out quickly and easily. Now, here's one, barely got 2 stars. We click the right arrow, there's another one, and I know from reading a number of these things already, this one right here, Still Got the Blues, was one of his biggest hit albums, and so I click on that. Well, there's not only a little review about the album, but there's all the tracks. I can listen to any of the tracks. I'm not going to play them here because I don't want to get the copyright stuff. And so go on over. Here's more and more and more and more. Gary Moore. Well, here's Blues and Beyond Live 2017. I checked out some of these. I liked them. But just to show how this works, I didn't have a hot link in here for Thin Lizzy. But you can type in up here anything. I've already typed in Thin Lizzy because I did this a little bit ago. Okay, so here we click on Thin Lizzy so they know for sure who we want, where it might be different people. And you got the big biography of Thin Lizzy, very interesting. We scroll down, Thin Lizzy, they just have 20 albums in here. Well, the first one that grabbed my attention here was Nightlife, and the tune Nightlife. This got 3.5 stars, but it talks about it. When you read the review, it gives you information you might not get otherwise, and it made me interested in the music, and I listened to some of these tracks, and this is one of the albums I'm going to be watching for. Okay, so and they like Thin Lizzy. All of them you see here, a lot of them got 5 stars. Well, again, in reading the information in here, Thin Lizzy's biggest hit record, maybe Black Rose, and of course, what was one of the things that was interesting, this is one where their other guitarist had been replaced by Gary Moore, the guy we watched earlier, which we had saw a little bit about. And so again, I listened to some of these tracks and it was quite interesting. So here's just a real quick little thing. Not everything somebody's recorded, but you can listen to most of what they've recorded. You can listen to every track. You can listen to them in order. You have reviews, biographical and historical information on many of the albums. And I have found this a way. For example, Thin Lizzy, I knew the name. I've seen some of you guys and gals show the records, but really I didn't know anything about their music. Well, I like Thin Lizzy. I like Gary Moore. I've learned a lot about them in a short period of time here, and now I'm going to be watching out for their albums. So, quick little intro here to the vinyl community. I hope you enjoyed it, got something out of it. Keep 'em spinning, and see y'all down the trail.